Hello, people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hope you're having a great day today, and hope you just had a bliss today. Let me just start the video by saying what great news we have today talking about Arsenal. We're going to talk about William Saliba's new contract, despite the fact that Real Madrid were one of the contenders to get Saliba's signature. And we're also going to talk about Bertra, and if the Newcastle game that we're going to play on Sunday is a must win. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is William Saliba. What great news we have today. One of that is definitely the fact that we're going to keep Saliba until 2030, a 5-year contract that we gave the guy. David Ornstein confirmed it. We are now at One Football website, and I gotta say, well, I'm just gonna read it out. Arsenal have secured a significant boost to their long-term ambitions after William Saliba, who's 24 years of age, agreed a new 5-year contract, keeping him at the club until 2030. Very good news, and the fact is, if Arsenal want to keep competing for each competition, you have to keep the best players available, and Saliba is definitely one of the best players. For me, one of the best defenders in the world, arguably the best defender. He's young, he's very good on the ball, off the ball, defensively he's amazing. I know we've seen some of the mistakes he does with the ball, but I don't think are major issues, and he's one of the best defenders in the world right now. If we see strikers going up against him, they never have a good time, so it's great that we're keeping guys like William Saliba at the team. If Arsenal want to be considered a serious contender, an ambitious team to win competitions, we have to keep the best available players, and the fact is that we have one of the best defensive players in the world, and I'm talking about him, Gabriel. Lewis Kelly for me, one of the best young defenders, and he's a left back, he's a defensive midfielder. We're talking about as well about Timber. Timber for me is one of the best right backs in the league, top 3 at least. And off the bench you have Ben White, that for me is another guy that has to be considered one of the best 10 right backs in the league. He's also great when it comes to playing a back 3, just to give, some flexibility on the lineups that we're going to use. I know Mikel Arteta doesn't use a back 3, but at a certain point maybe we're going to go with a back 5, or maybe he's going to try something different, and Ben White gives that different type of air into the defense, because he can play centre back very good when it comes to being 3 centre backs on the pitch. So if we want to be considered serious, we have to keep the best guys available. Of course, this signature had to come with a big boost in terms of money. He might be getting paid even more. I think he deserves it, definitely. Him, Saka, Eze at the moment, Declan Rice, Gabriel and Raya for me are the core of this football club. Eze right now because, he's a new signing, he's the best attacking midfielder that we have. I know he's 27 years of age, but that's a guy that in the future, he's got a lot on that tank to play great football for us. But talking about Saliba, I think this is one of the best things that can happen to a club right now. We're in a spot in which we have to keep the best players to make other players know that we're serious when it comes to winning trophies, so they can come into the transfer windows to the club and we can sign better players. At the moment, Saliba, this makes a statement for me because Real Madrid was one of the teams that wanted him and he preferred to stay at the club. Also tells me that he trusts on the manager, and a bunch of players trust on this manager, which is something that I really like. You know my thoughts on the manager. I'm not a big Arteta fan at the moment, and I've never been, to be honest. I wanted the guy gone since last season, since we lost the 8-point lead. But we have to take in consideration that these type of things, signatures of players and stuff like that, are very important. And I agree that the manager is one of the biggest points on these type of signatures, because the players are trusting him. So hopefully we're going to deliver this season with a trophy, and by a trophy I mean the Champions League or the Premier League. And just talking about the Champions League, I don't think is an unreal task for the manager. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans like to take examples of other teams, and I believe Liverpool got the Champions League first and then they got the league. So we can't do the same. I know we've never won the Champions League, but PSG never won it, and they just did it last season. So who tells me that we cannot do it? We can do it because we've seen other teams do it. And I think things like this, signing players that are on their prime, because Saliba is in his prime right now, and the fact that he's staying at the club is making a statement, and tells me as a fan that we are looking forward to compete for more seasons. And I'm talking about until, let's just say, 2030. We're trying to build something similar to what Man City did, and I think we're on the right track if we're going to keep William Saliba at the club. He's a guy that really brings comfort on the back four, and every time he's 1-on-1 against a striker, I'm really confident that he's going to win that battle, and that's amazing. So things like this makes us, the fans and other players, know that we are looking serious to win big trophies, and I'm really hoping the manager can get it done this season. I'm not confident about the manager, but I'm hoping maybe he proves me wrong and we're going to win something this season, something big. And this is a big boost for us in general, players, fans, the board of directors, the manager, because we're keeping one of the best players in the world, a big part of what the team is right now. And William Saliba is just the best defender that we have. Him and Gabriel, I know he's arguably one of them is the two defenders, but I think Saliba is the best defender in my opinion. And it's a big statement, the fact that Madrid wanted the guy and he decided to stay at the club. Very happy about it, because normally if I was talking about Arsenal a few seasons ago, every single player that was good enough or more than better than most of the teams, most of the players that we had, they left. We have to talk about Van Persie, Nasri, Clichy, Sagna, guys that left and they went to rivals. And as of now, it's basically like every single player that is considered one of the best at our club decides to stay, which is amazing. And it talks as well about the fact that we have bought one of the best players in the world in Gyökeres, and one of the best, one of the more requested midfielders in Subimendi, because he was requested by a lot of teams. A lot of teams wanted him. Supposedly Madrid wanted him as well, and he decided to come to Arsenal. So it's very good that we have, those signings, and the players wanted to come here and play. I gotta say, the thing I give to this manager is the fact that a bunch of players want to play for him, and we have to give back to those players. And how do we give back? By winning games. And I think the manager now has to start playing better football to win games, because we clearly had the squad to beat City, we clearly had the squad to beat Liverpool, and we never did it. In terms of Arsenal in general, I think that's something that we're missing. We're always lacking something. Whenever we had the best attack, or one of the best attacks in the league, we didn't have the best defense. And now it's otherwise. Like, we have the best defense, but attacking wise we're not good enough. We don't look as good as other seasons. So hopefully we're going to find the balance throughout this season, in which we're going to take advantage of the players that we have offensively, while also taking care of the defense, which is what we need to win the league. Also the same stuff like on previous seasons. We beat the top 6 sides, and we lost the league to middle of the table teams. As of now, well, we already lost to the top 6, and hopefully we're gonna win against the mid-table teams. But we have to get that balance right. Like, if we beat the mid-table teams now, we have to take advantage of what we have, the players we have, and start beating the top 6, because that's how we're gonna win something. Now, I wanted to talk about on Andrea Bertra, and I gotta say, what a great transfer window we've had under this guy. And I'm gonna talk about, let me just search it. Because what a great transfer window, great so far. It's just been amazing what he's done, Andrea Bertra, this season. And let me just, hopefully we're gonna find something. But, well, let's just go and search for the new signings. I know them, but I don't want to miss anyone. So, the ins and outs of the team. And we have to talk about the amount of players we brought into the team. And Andrea Bertra is doing an amazing job, because we got all those players. And also, we are keeping the best players that we have in the team. Saliba, Saka, they got new contracts. Nwaneri got a new contract, Ethan Nwaneri. So, we're keeping the best players. We're securing the future, because Saliba is very young. Nwaneri, same situation. We're keeping the guy. Saka, same stuff. So, we gotta talk about how good everything Andrea Bertra has done just puts us in such a great spot for the future, and also for this season. Everything he's done has been great. And the first thing is Kepa. I think he's a good enough backup goalkeeper. We have, in my opinion, one of the best backup goalkeepers. I know people don't consider him a good goalkeeper, but as a backup, I prefer to have him over a guy like Runarsson. I think, well, Ramsdale for me was one of the best goalkeepers, but you cannot keep two great players in the same position when you talk about being a goalkeeper. And Kepa, I think he can get a job done, definitely. I'm not worried at the fact that he's gonna be some games for us playing. So I think he's very good. He's not great, he's not amazing, he's just good enough to be a starter in some of the games, like Port Vale, and I'm talking about also the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, some Champions League games. I gotta say, he is better than most of the goalkeepers of teams that we're gonna have to play in those competitions, and that's very good. And I'm not gonna be concerned if Raya gets injured, because he's gonna be stepping up. I think Kepa is a good signing to be a backup goalkeeper. He's better than most backup goalkeepers in the league, which is great. Eberici Eze, amazing player. Just the guy we need. And I'm hoping that the manager is going to play Eze as a centre attacking midfielder, because we need the guy to play in that position. He's very good. I think sometimes, like, I've got to talk about consistency. He hasn't been that consistent, but he's had a few games only, like the Liverpool game that he was benched. He was benched against the Liverpool game, sorry. Then he came off the bench against City, did an amazing job. He scored against Port Vale. So I think he's just trying to get that match fitness for Arsenal. And he's like gonna be able in a few games, I've got to say, to get a hold of how we play and what the manager wants. I'm very happy with the signing of Eberici Eze. He's the guy that we need. He's better than Martin Odegaard, and I'm really hoping that the manager is going to see that, and he's going to start playing Eze as the main centre attacking midfielder. Victor Gyökeres, no introduction needed. Best striker in the world right now. He's been struggling, and to be fair to him, It's got to do with the tactics and the way we play. We haven't been creative enough. We haven't been very good attacking wise. So I gotta say, hopefully, we are going to find out how to get the best out of Victor Gyökeres. But again, that's a signing that that Andrea Bertra was really trying to get, and the fact that we kept trying to persuade Sporting was very good. Also, Victor Gyökeres played a big part due to the fact that he wasn't going to play for Sporting anymore, and he talked to the owner or whoever was in charge at Sporting. He played a big part, but Andre Berta had a lot to do with it, and the fact that finally Arsenal in the transfer window is going for the best available player at the striking position is amazing, because I remember Haaland was available. Everyone thought that Martin Odegaard was going to play a big part on the signing of Haaland, but Arsenal never made the move. He went to City, won the Champions League, won the Premier League. So that's very painful. It's very painful, and we were known to be a team that wasn't going for the best available players. Well, we went for Sanchez and Ozil at the time, but when it came to the missing pieces that we needed after those signings, we never moved. And we literally had Haaland available and decided to pass on him. Now we have the best striker in the transfer window, best striker in the world. He just recently got a trophy for what he did last season, and now we gotta get the best out of him. Hopefully, it's gonna take a few games to adjust to what the player requires to score goals, and I'm really hoping that the manager is gonna see that we need a guy like him to be firing so we can win something this season. Because if we play to his strengths, he's a guy that is gonna score more than 25 goals a season, and I'm talking about all competitions, and that's something that we need. We had Aubameyang, we had Lacazette, and we were known to have a very good attacking team. Now we have Gyökeres, Saka, Martinelli. I'm going to talk about Noni Madueke as well, and Everich Eze, which I think really boost our striking areas, and those players plus Victor Gyökeres are going to be just amazing. But we gotta figure out the attack, because so far we have not been very good. And I know people were talking about, yes, we won against Port Vale and stuff like that, but if you're going to play against a third division team that is 19th in their league, I'm expecting the team we have, I'm expecting to score at least 6 goals, 5 goals. And we played Gyökeres, we played Martinelli, we played Eze. I don't know why, but Merino was up front. Makes no sense. We had Saka as well. So, Madueke, another guy that I'm really impressed with. So, with the guys that we have, we shouldn't be beating those teams 2-0 only and scoring the second goal in the 85th minute. That shouldn't be the case. So, we gotta figure out the issue that we have up front. And hopefully the manager is going to just figure it out and think something different than what we have done so far. Because we really need to be firing with those attacking players. Pierre Hincapié, I've seen him played a few times. Very impressed with him. The fact that we got him loan this season with an option to buy, amazing business. Finally we're getting a player on loan that we're going to have to pay to next season. So it's a great business. It's not going to interfere with the FFP rules, and it's great to see Arsenal doing a type of business like that I haven't seen in a bunch. I think the only one that we made was like Odegaard, but he was on loan, then he went to Madrid, and then we decided to buy him. The Pierre Hincapié stuff is a buy, like we have to buy the guy, an obligation to buy next season, so it's very good that we're doing that. I think he's a very great boost for the defensive areas. We have 2 guys on Hincapié and Mosquera that can start the game. Christian Mosquera, he's young, he's kind of a raw talent, and that's very good. That's very good. And I say raw talent because he's 20 or 21 years old, but that doesn't mean that he's going to do, some things bad. I think raw talent is actually a good thing, and we're just gonna have probably to tweak some stuff because as well he's a new player and he's very young, but hopefully it's not gonna be too much what we're gonna have to do with him. And so far in the games he has played, he's been amazing. Gotta say, very impressed with him. How quick the guy is, Christian Mosquera. Like, I'm very impressed with it, and also the fact that he's a very tall player. His presence on the pitch is very noticeable. I'm very happy with that signing. So I think Hincapié and Mosquera, both of them can really start a game, and that's great because you have guys off the bench that can be starters and vice versa, which gives other players the option to rest, and also is a worry for the oppositions because we have just very good backups that can basically be starters for us and also for any team in the Premier League, which is very good. That's what you want to have in a team that is going to be a possible title winning team, and hopefully we're going to take advantage of it. Noni Madueke, I was very angry with the signing, I gotta say. Very angry, that's the right word. I didn't think that he was going to be a great signing. So far, the guy has shut my mouth. I couldn't understand because I spoke with some Chelsea friends, the Chelsea fans that are friends of mine, just clarify right there. Like, I gotta say, of the 5 guys that I spoke with, 3 of them were very disappointed to the fact that Madueke left, and I asked them why. They basically said he has everything except for the finished product. He's missing those easy chances. His finishing is not great. Sometimes his decision making is questionable, but he is very good. He's fast. He is unpredictable. Very tough for opposition defenders to take the ball away from him. He gets fouls in our favour. He's one of the best players, and some of them even told me they consider the guy better than Saka. I'm not going to go as far as saying that, but so far what Madueke has done and Saka does, they look very similar. And I've got to say, even Madueke looks kind of better attacking wise due to the fact that he is very unpredictable, and I get why my Chelsea friends said that, because he's very unpredictable and he's very good. I've been impressed with him so far. I think, again, the finishing product needs to improve, but he's very young. He's 23 years of age, and those are guys that you want to keep for the future. The fact that we have Saka and he can go off and then Madueke is going to come in is a worry for the opposition teams, because you're going to have an impact player just as Saka is, and that's very good. He's injured right now, and hopefully it's not gonna be tough for him to recover. And whenever he's gonna be back on the pitch, he's gonna keep performing the same way we saw at the start of the season. Chris Norgard, just saw one game this season. I'm not gonna talk about the pre-season. I think he's a squad player. Kind of an El Neni type of player, probably like a Jorginho type of player. So we're gonna have to see more. But he was the Brentford captain, and I've seen him play at Brentford. I think we're getting a good enough player to be on the team, a guy that can come off the bench and do a job, but nothing very impressive. And we're gonna get an experienced guy, which is very good considering that we have young players. Hincapié, Mosquera, Madueke, then Subimendi, again, young player, 24 I think he is. Kind of doubtful that the manager knows how to play him at his best. I think him and Royce together doesn't look very good. But if we talk about Subimendi and Marino together with an attacking player like Eze, they look very good. So we're gonna have to figure out how he plays, what the best options for him are on the pitch, and how to get the best out of the guy. I know the season just started and things like that, so hopefully the manager is going to get the best out of the player. We're going to have to see, but we already had a pre-season for him to try and get the best. I think the manager is struggling maybe to get the best out of Subimendi, but well, so far we've been punished against Liverpool and also City. Hopefully we're not going to get punished anymore. But just looking at the guys that we have and the fact that we got the Saliba new contract and Waneri new contract and things like that really tells me that Bertra is very active on the market and he is proactive, not reactive, which is very good and is something that we were missing for Arsenal. Talking about the outs, I gotta say Zinchenko on loan was great. Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, Kivior and Carl Hayne. Kivior is gonna stay at Porto because we're gonna receive some money for him, but the rest, very good. I think those loans were needed. Carl Hayne, he's not gonna get a game for us. He's been at the club for a while now, and he's not considered one of the goalkeepers that we need. I think we're gonna sell him. And then talking about the other outgoings, Lokonga, he was sold, great. Marquinhos, same situation. Nuno Tavares, same situation. I think Tavares, I would like to keep him, but we decided to sell him. Kieran Tierney is a big loss, I gotta say. For me, Kieran Tierney was the best left back of the team. I see the guys that we have right now, and it's very worrying the fact that we don't have Kieran Tierney in the team, I gotta say. Unfortunately, the manager didn't want him, but he was the best left back of the team. Pure left back. You want to have the guy crossing the ball because his crosses were amazing. He was kind of fast, and he was very good to take the ball away from the opposition, but the manager decided he was not gonna be part of the team, and we sold him. No, sorry, he ran his contract down, but at least he had a farewell. But so far, I'm very impressed with Andre Bertra. I think that was one of the best signings we did as a club. Andre Bertra coming into the team. He's a big improvement on what we had, and that's something that you want to have when you want to be considered one of the best teams in the world. So hopefully there's going to be more in the future, but I'm really happy with Bertra and the things he has done so far at the club. Now we're going to just watch a video of, well, this fucking idiot right here talking about Mikel Arteta and shit like that. Of course we're going to talk about the manager because he has been holding us back quite a bit. And it's normal for teams to talk about Arteta because of fans like you that get angry and make them get some views. But I gotta say, the best game for me on this weekend is going to be the Newcastle against Arsenal. And we're in a tough situation because we already lost to challengers like Man City and Liverpool. So is the next game a must-win game? For me, it is. But I'm going to just have you listen to what Sky Sports said.
General point, Charlie, this game for Arsenal on Sunday, there is a chance that as of Sunday night, they could be 8 points behind Liverpool at this stage of the season, which probably doesn't bear thinking about for them because at the moment we're only, it would be 6 games into the season, it'd be that 8 points behind, potentially.
But even before they kick off, Liverpool win, then the pressure's on again. And they've got to be looking at, like, oh, this is now a must-win if Liverpool beat Palace, which you know is going to be a tough game. Going off their record, going to St James's Park, it's not been fantastic. Same managers going at it. So look, I think the pressure comes, and Liverpool can really put the pressure on if they win on Saturday.
Yeah, away at Crystal Palace. But Arsenal, they've lost the last 3 games at St James's Park. Why do Arsenal struggle there? And can that get into a player's heads? Because by and large, well, it's the same 2 managers for a start. And a lot of the players from both sides are the same as well. Yeah, get players' heads and you can have the conversation about, we need to win there, we need to win there, and it's like a snowball effect. But St James's Park's a tough place to go. There's no doubt about it. Not many teams go there and get results. Yeah, OK, they're just backing up with it. Haven't won. See a tough game. Liverpool went there, won 3-2, but 97th minute winner. It's a tough place to go. And also, Newcastle are after winning games as well. And everybody in the Premier League that finished in the top end
want to make the home ground as a fortress, and that's obviously what Newcastle are trying to do with St James's Park.
So, some of the fans were giving this guy stick for some of the comments he made before about Arteta and Arsenal, but I think he's correct, and the fact that he was not a good player, I don't care. He is a pundit right now, and he's very right on what he's saying. We have to go to St James's Park, and Santi sort of away performance, that's great. But okay, let's keep the momentum going.
More
Sorry.
general point.
So I gotta say, we are obligated to go out there and win. Let's be honest. We cannot let Liverpool have 8 points of a gap between them and us. We cannot let them be 8 points ahead. Let's be completely honest here. We need to at least keep the pressure on. And I think 5 points are very tough to recover, considering the fact that Liverpool are having, let's just say, luck in some of these games. They're not looking like they're going to lose a game. Like, seriously. They're a very good squad. The manager is very good. And even if they are having a tough game, in some type of way, they just get the result. They win those games. Last minute winners. Fine margins, as the manager says sometimes. Well, Mikel Arteta. But, like, they always get something out of those games. And it's just the fact that the difference between them and us is that in some type of way they do something to win those games and get the 3 points. They went to Newcastle and they won their game. And we do have something against us, which is in 3 seasons we haven't won at Newcastle, which is very worrying. And also the fact that Arteta is our manager and their manager has always been Eddie Howe in those losses. We have to make a statement this season, a statement that we haven't done, because we lost to Liverpool and tried to City at our ground. And that statement that we can do right now is to go out there and win the game. And we need to win the game, because if not, there's going to be an 8-point gap between Liverpool and us. And I know some people are going to say, yes, Arsenal lost an 8-point lead and then City won the league. We can do the same stuff. But I'm not trusting those thoughts, because we've always been the team that can't do that. And I gotta say, we've always been the team that breaks those type of ugly records, because no team had lost an 8-point lead at that point in the season, and we were the first one to do it. And then when you have players that are having a rough patch and they play against us, they score. When a player is new at a team and they haven't scored in 2 or 3 games, then they play against Arsenal and they score. So we've always been that type of charm for oppositions, and it's very tough. We cannot let Liverpool escape with an 8-point lead. And if they win their game against Crystal Palace, which they will probably do, let me just confirm that, because I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure, but yeah, they're going to play Crystal Palace. They're going to go away at Crystal Palace, and I genuinely think they're going to win their game. We cannot let that team win. And I'm talking about Newcastle, because that's what the pundit says is true. If Liverpool wins the game, the pressure is on us, and we have to be able to handle that pressure. We're going to go away from home at a very tough ground, and the fact that our direct rivals to the title went there and win is very worrying, because we now have to go and do the same. Those are the things that you have to do as a team to win the league, to challenge for a league title. If your rival did that, which was winning away from home at Newcastle, you gotta do the same thing, and hopefully more convincing than what Liverpool did. So if you want to make a statement, which we failed to do this season so far. We have now to go to Newcastle and win the game. If we also want to make other teams consider us as title challengers and a threat, we have to now go to Newcastle and win the game, definitely. So there's pressure on the team, but I think big clubs and great squads and also title winning teams thrive on that pressure, and that's something that I have to see. I have to watch my team thrive on that pressure, and that's something the manager so far has failed to do, because we had that pressure against PSG, couldn't do it. We've had that pressure against Liverpool, City, Newcastle, and when it counts, we can't do it. And it's Arsenal, the Arsenal social media always putting on those posts of, we have to make a statement to be made, we're not out yet, and things like that are very cringy, and every time they post that shit, we lose. So we have to do something, and on Sunday I'm really hoping for the team to have a complete 360 and play and dominate and win against Newcastle. I'm really hoping the manager to go out there aggressive with the players we have, take advantage of the quality of each and every single one of the players, and hopefully beat Newcastle, because that's the statement we need to do to win the league. I think the game against Newcastle is going to be a turning point. First of all, because we have not beat Newcastle in 3 seasons away from home. And second of all, Newcastle are a top 4 challenger team. And if we go out there and beat them, we're already beating a rival for us that is going to be a threat for us this season. And the fact that we're going to beat them away from home is going to be great. It's going to make Liverpool worry, because those games, if you win them, are really turning points for the season. And we now need a turning point for us to have, the players all thinking the same, clicking together, scoring goals, playing free-flowing attacking football. So if we want that to happen, we have to make a statement, and the game against Newcastle is a big enough game for us to make a turning point for this season and let Liverpool know that we are serious to win the title. And that is going to put pressure on Liverpool. I know they went to Newcastle and won the game, but if we go out there and we win convincingly, they're going to take us more serious. So far it has been a tough couple of games for Liverpool, in which they take advantage of those games and somehow they get a win. And we have to do the same, because that's the difference between title winning teams and title challengers. Right now we're a challenger, and we have to become a title winning team, and to do that we gotta go to Newcastle and win the game. So hopefully we're gonna do it. I'm really hoping that this game is gonna be the turning point, and it's gonna make the players switch the thinking, the mindset that they have. And hopefully Gyökeres is gonna score goals, and that's the other thing. Victor Gyökeres, there was a guy saying that Victor Gyökeres has the quality to thrive in English football. I agree with him. He's strong, he's kind of fast. Not as fast as other players, but he can do a job when it comes to running. The power on his shots are amazing. The finishing touch, great. He's working on his headers as well, but I've seen an improvement so far. And we talk about the pre-season, he improved. He scored a goal against Bilbao doing that. So what he said is Victor Gyökeres is a very good player. I think he'll score plenty of goals for Arsenal this season. They have lacked an out-and-out striker for a few years, which is why maybe, and I'm now saying it, I think that's why maybe we are not clicking with Gyökeres, because we haven't had that player since Aubameyang left, and we're missing something. Now we have that something in Gyökeres, but we are missing on how to click with him and play the ball to his strengths. So hopefully we're going to figure that out. And I think the Newcastle game is the perfect game to demonstrate that, to demonstrate that we are a very good team that can click and can make statements. Because so far our attack has not been good. And if you go out there at Newcastle and you have an amazing game and you click attacking wise and you score 3 goals, that is going to be a warning for every single team in the league. And that's what you have to do to win a title. You have to be that type of thing, of team, that is going to be a warning for other teams. And I'm really, today I'm very positive. I'm really thinking that the game against Newcastle is going to be the turning point for us. I'm positive. And I'm hoping that the lineup is going to be the correct one, the starting lineup, because I genuinely think the turning point is going to be the Newcastle game. We got to go out there and win. We got to make a statement, and that's the perfect statement to do. And the fact that we haven't won there in 3 years, that has to be something that the players have to thrive on, and they have to be hungry about it. Because if now you go there and you win the game, you're in a very good spot to recover from those 5 points you are behind Liverpool. So hopefully it's going to be one of those games in which everything is going to go right and we're going to make a statement. Now, the thing he says here is, just to finish it, but I was right here, but for what I've seen so far from him, Gyökeres looks like a real deal and could produce a lot of goals for the Gunners. And I think that's correct. He tries to make the runs, he shows the runs to the midfielders, and we're just missing that someone to make that pass. And for what I've seen, Eze is the right guy to do it, so hopefully Eze is going to play attacking midfielder. We've seen the passes he did to Martinelli and the way he tries to break teams down, so hopefully him and Gyökeres are going to be the perfect pair up front that is going to make our attack click. And hopefully as well, the Newcastle game is going to be the game for us to have that attack and that free-flowing attacking football going. So we're going to have to see. I'm probably going to make a video about the game after the game against Newcastle, and hopefully it's going to be a positive one. I'm really eager to see if we are going to make a statement. I'm thinking positive right now, and I'm really hoping that the Newcastle game is going to be the turning point for us this season. And teams that win competitions, they have one of those tough games in which they click and they switch the mentality and the mindset, and they make a complete 360 and then start going on those runs of a lot of games won, and things like that. So hopefully the Newcastle game is going to be the perfect example of that game that Arsenal needs to finally believe we can win something this season. And hopefully as well for the manager, is going to be that type of game in which he knows or he understands what he did wrong on previous games, and the history is not going to repeat itself. So I'm very trying to think positive, and I'm hoping that the Newcastle game is going to make Arsenal look like a team that is serious on winning big trophies this season, and a team that is going to look like Liverpool has to worry about. Without further to talk about people, thank you guys for hearing this. I hope you have a great day today and enjoy every single minute you have. Thank you guys, and bye bye.